Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Drough, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery.
And I'm Becky, store manager at the Modern Skein.
So, hopefully you've had a fun time knitting and crocheting and crafting since the last episode, which I really don't remember exactly when it got put up on YouTube because it's been kind of crazy busy with inventory and everything else here at the shop. We're more than halfway through.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, which is great. It's a great feeling. So if you haven't noticed, we are not only doing inventory, but we are also optimizing and restructuring the website to make it easier for you guys to see the products that we offer. So now when you click on a product, say for instance Red Stag, if you search by the brand, it's going to show you the 9 different bases that we have, and then you click on those bases, and then you can see a drop down menu of all the photos and the colorways that we offer, and then you can see them kind of all at the same time rather than clicking on one colorway and then having to go back and click on another colorway. So it's easier to see and toggle between the different colorways and the different bases. So like I said, I would say probably 70% of all of the yarns are switched over to the new format. Some of the needles and accessories are switched over to the new format as well. We're just kind of putting the final touches on everything. And by the yarn trail, which is technically when this episode should be going up live, the 20th, it should all be done. Whoop, whoop. Now you'll also notice that I am wearing my Missurina tee by Caitlin Hunter. It is not a recently finished object. I actually finished this for Yarn Trail last year, but I was a little cold when we got into the shop, and now I'm hot.
So, it's a good feeling in summer in Texas when you get to feel cold and put on a sweater.
Well, yes, it's a rare feeling in August, that's for sure. But yeah, so I'll just pop this on, and now I'll be warm for the rest of the episode. Okay, so I don't have a finished object. I showed y'all Winter's Beach last time. I did, in case you were waiting with bated breath, weave in all of my ends and finish the pocket. So it is completely 100% done. But I did not finish one of my other projects. Instead, I've cast on something else, and I have another project that I'm going to start here in a day or two when we go on our little family vacation right before Yarn Trail. So I will show you those in a moment. However, Becky does have a finished object to show, and it's quite nice.
So I think I had this last time. This was my, even though I was a coach and I couldn't attain points during skiing games, this was my kind of challenge to myself to try and finish a sweater during skiing games. Well, I had to extend that a little for myself. I finished it over the weekend. But my Wild Joy test knit is done.
So pretty.
It's just off the blocking mat. I literally picked it up this morning. But yeah, I love it. I eagerly am waiting for some cool weather where I can wear it.
I mean, you don't want to wear a worsted weight sweater in the dead of August.
I wish I could, but as it stands, I really don't during our heat advisories and such.
Okay, so it's 9 a.m. and it's 81 degrees.
Yeah.
Because that was basically the low.
Yeah.
FYI, if you're not from Texas. Yeah. Now you know.
But yeah, this was a really fun quick knit because it is worsted weight. Super cozy. Colorwork yoke. It's most, my main color is Squish Worsted from Farmer's Daughter. This is the colorway Bad Rock. I ended up having a decent amount left over from several of the skeins I had to alternate, so figure out another project. some family member might be getting a hat.
Excuse me.
And then my next two contrast colors are both Malabrigo. The colorways Melon and Vulcan. And then I held Ching Melted Baby Surrey Double for my third contrast. And I love it.
It's so pretty. And it adds just a little bit of that halo and fuzzy.
So there's all those colors a little bit closer up.
Yes. Look at that.
Just lots of stockinette.
It's so soft, too.
It's so soft. It has really... I extended the sleeves just a little bit. And yeah, really the only modification I made was in the sleeves. The pattern calls for 7 inches of ribbing. I did 6 inches prior to blocking. It has grown a good bit, so...
so soft. I don't think I've actually worked with squish worsted before.
It's very squishy.
It's very...
The name
Squish.
fits.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just like squishing this.
But yeah, and then I extended the stockinette part of the arm a little bit in exchange for shortening the ribbing, so that it would be one that I can wear. I like it when I have sweaters that can come down partway on my hand to keep it nice and cozy.
Oh, yes.
But I also can fold these back.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
So.
Fun.
Done. Yay.
So, as you guys know, if you've watched more than one episode of this podcast, I finished my Winter's Beach last week. And then I still had my, Seriously Holey wrap to work on.
This one that's like this and like that.
Apparently, Siri needed to chime in on that one.
Yeah. So, anyway, my Surrey. No, not you. Anyway, you know the idea. You know the thing.
The super fuzzy version of alpaca.
Yes. The Holey
Picking up-
wrap. Yes.
You picking up what
Yes.
we're putting down?
Yes, because apparently I can't say the other word. It's listening. Okay, anywho. So I had this wrap to work on. Can't stand it. Look, I literally, why? Why do I do this to myself? I literally knit like 3. Hold on, I just gotta back this out. This is ridiculous. Okay. So, this is the progress that I've made. I did make some very, I think I did about this much, literally like an inch. Excuse me. Pretty sure I swallowed a bug like 5 minutes before getting on the podcast. So, that was fun. Anywho, instead of working on this and finishing it like I was supposed to, although I am bringing this on my vacation trip to also work on, hopefully I do anyway. That was the other thing. I was also supposed to finish my Marettimo. I'm still supposed to finish my Marettimo before Yarn Trail.
But you made good progress on that one, though.
I did make good progress. I can't remember if I showed it or not, so we're going to show it again. Because I have finished.
Last time we filmed, you had not.
I had not finished
separated.
it. And I just separated a whole bunch of stitches from the needle, and that's not supposed to happen. Bear with me as I have a minor technical difficulty. Well, the perils of shoving everything into one giant bag.
Yeah. Here they are.
Okay, well, I'm just working on getting all these back onto a needle. Be a lot of drop stitches. But I will be able to show you in one moment. maybe. Okay. I think I picked him up. Okay. So, nope, just lost another one. Okay. You can kind of see here, big mess. This is I separated for sleeves and I knit the entire back, and I bound off for the back neck, and I just have my 2 shoulders on my needle cord. I literally just ripped another bunch of stitches off my needle. So this is where I would interject and say it's a good idea to use waste yarn or stitch holder for your shoulders rather than managing it all on one needle like I do. It would definitely prevent stitches coming off your needle. That being said, what did I do there?
I think it's the join.
Oh, that's just the join. It's pulled. That being said, do as I say, not as I do. And, yeah, get you some stitch holders or the Scooby-Doos or anything else to prevent all of your stitches sliding everywhere. But anyway, all I have left to do is finish the front. I've got about an inch worked on the front panel. Finish the front, join the 2 shoulders, pick up and knit a neckline, and knit the little baby sleeves. So in theory, this will definitely get done on our little vacation trip. That being said, it was supposed to get done on our first one back in June. But, you know, I cast on other things, and I may have cast on another project.
But it's real good.
It's really nice. And I'm losing stitches on this one, too.
Goodness.
So, clearly, I need to invest in longer cords and stitch holders and maybe separate project bags. Okay, so this is the beginnings of a Marseille sweater by Petite Knit. First time I actually popped it over my head. So this super cute, it's like 4-striped sweater. Excuse me, DK weight, kind of oversized, slouchy, boxy kind of sweater. So this is the beginning, this is the front. Excuse me, I have the back here. And I just have, I don't know, 15 so rows before joining in the round to knit the rest of the body. I will say she has a fairly different style of, it's not really different. She just has you start with a provisional cast on and then pick up and knit your shoulder seams so they're more invisible. The way that it was written and the way that I did it, because remember I do knit more, I don't even really know how to describe how I knit. I've been told I knit Icelandic style. I've been told I knit continental. I've been told I knit a modification of picking continental, all the things. Basically, it was leaving very large holes, and it wasn't supposed to be. So I just kind of modified how I was doing it. It was basically kind of like doing a wrap and turn without the wrap, is how it's written. But for me, potentially because I'm a little bit looser in my gauge, it was leaving a hole. So I ended up kind of picking up the wrap-ish. It's hard to explain exactly what I did because I just kind of made it up as I went to close the holes without adding any additional stitches. But the pattern's very well written, as usual with Petite Knit patterns. Very simple, straightforward. And, yeah. I will say there's another modification. So when you're doing when you're increasing for the neckline, she just says make one left, make one right. It's kind of up to you to decide exactly how you want to do that. If you want to do a traditional make one left, make one right. I decided I didn't exactly want to do traditional. And so I did basically, I learned this originally from knitting the Sonobe jacket from Brooklyn Tweed, doing an invisible lifted left increase or right increase, where you go down to the row below, you pick up a leg of a stitch that you've already done, not the bar, you slip it on, you knit into it, and then you slip the corresponding next stitch. I believe, I know it's included in the instructions for Sonobe. I believe it may be just a little tutorial on maybe like their YouTube page as well. You could probably just search invisible left leaning increase or invisible right leaning increase and see it. It's very smooth. I like how it looks. It is more visible because we were doing it every row. If you do it where you have, say, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows in between each one, it's almost completely invisible because it's just like the stitch almost barely splits into two. You don't have that bar that if you, sometimes when you do either a knit front and back or sometimes a make one, you'll have like a bar that kind of pops through. You eliminate that completely. So that's just a fun little add-on thing that I've done for that pattern. Really enjoying it. I am using, speaking of Brooklyn Tweed, I am using Arbor in the colorway Burnished and Degas. Degas is my stripe color and Burnished is my main color, and Becky is smiling and laughing.
Because you see, I definitely was like, oh, do you want me to grab more of that off the wall for you? And she was like, sure. And I went and grabbed some more Burnished and then some Ranch, which is a worsted weight yarn. So
yep. What the funny part is I had completely planned yesterday to finish the stripe and join it in the round. And when I left the shop yesterday, I had I was at the spot where I needed to join for the stripe on the front side. So I get home, dinner, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just working away, working on this stripe. And I was like, man, my tension's a little bit loose, but we'd had people over to the house. I'm like, okay, I must be a little stressed or whatever. Stressed with the inventory, whatever. So, okay, focus this next couple rows, make sure my tension is back on track. And I go to put in back the main color, which is Burnished. I'm like, man, this string of Burnished is like super thin. I hope this plumps back out. And then I'm looking at it, and then I compare it with the back stripe, and I'm like, this stripe's like 2 rows larger, but it's the same number of rows. It was really throwing me for a loop at 8:15 at night. And so I'm looking at it, and then I'm like, the color is just off. I'm like, is this a different dye lot? Maybe something happened with the plier and it got an extra ply or something. And I go fishing around for the label because, of course, I had not gone into my knitting bag. I just had the bag of yarn that I had wound up. And so I was like, I'll just grab that one rather than find the original ball of Degas. And lo and behold, it was a ball of Ranch that I had picked up and started knitting with. So, yes, it was a different weight, which is explained why it was off, which then meant I had to rip out all of that. And I finished the stripe, and then I was like, I'm done for the night.
I feel real bad.
It's fine. I've done stupider things before. So, like yesterday, I told a customer, oh, yeah, this is your main color. No, it wasn't. I screwed that up yesterday. Big time. Luckily, she realized it or questioned it before she had left the store. And
Got it
are
all
you sure?
switched.
Yeah, we got it fixed. But yeah. Clearly, I need more caffeine or sleep. It's probably a good idea.
And or nice family
Vacation, yes. And so I, as a true CrossFitter, I have my WIP strap. It tells me all my stuff. Well, yesterday, the reason I was a little, I was running on what they considered a 29% recovery rate, meaning I didn't get enough sleep. And so they were like, my strap was like, you need to take a rest day. Because you're supposed to be, obviously, between like 80 and 100% recovered. Yeah, I was at 29. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm back up in the 60s now today. So, I'm ready to go.
Rest.
Yes, got some rest. Took some B vitamins. I'm raring to go. Okay, let's see what you are working on.
Okay. So I'll start with this one because this is what I've just been knitting on. This is the beginning of another test knit that I signed up for several weeks back. The deadline is quickly approaching, so I'm going to try and get this done fairly quickly, which it's a cowl, so I think I'll be able to.
I mildly panicked. I'm like, is that a sweater?
No, sure isn't. It's a cowl. Okay. I saved this one for after the sweater because I knew I could get it done quickly. This is the Drought Tolerant Cowl by Slip Slip Sis, a sister duo that has started designing. But yeah, so it's just a real simple cowl. It does have color work because I'm a color work addict. And it'll eventually here get some cute little cacti that are going to be out of this rosewood color.
That's going to be so cute.
And then the little flowers are going to be some scrap white yarn.
That's going to be awesome.
So, yeah, and it's just stockinette on top of that color work cacti panel. I really like that color work cacti. I like the alliteration. But yeah, so, and then another inch of ribbing and it'll be done. So, yeah, nice quick gift knit potentially.
Yes. Now is the time to think about gift knits so that you're not totally stressed when it comes to gifting season, which is fast approaching.
Yeah, I totally waited far too long last year and it was a mistake. So, but yeah, so using some Sock Squad yarn from Farmer's Daughter. Apparently I'm just on a Farmer's Daughter kick lately, but this is her yak blend, so it's very soft.
Very nice.
Yep.
It's a nice color too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know the name of that color too. I recognize it.
It's one of the Sock Squad, I think. Maybe she brings it back. I don't know. This one, I can't remember. I pulled it out of stash.
Well, it looks like that color that we have over there on the wall, the third green one.
It totally does, actually.
I just cannot tell you what the name of that color is.
I want to say this was like Wild Thyme or thyme, like as in the spice or the herb was what was in this title, but I don't remember.
Now I gotta go look.
Okay.
Because I'm like, and it may not be that exact color. It's just similar.
Very, like
And of course,
so similar.
Different base too, because this has silk, so it'll be brighter.
Yeah.
This is Gehrign Cooper, but
okay. Very
you can
similar.
see it's quite similar. And yak naturally takes color darker anyway. So if you liked that color, this is pretty
There's
similar.
a good option.
Yes. Speaking of test knits, what did I go do? I signed up for a test knit. Do I have time? No, but I'm still going to do it anyway.
But also, I mean, rationale was strong on this one.
Yes. So the designer used Josh, my husband's yarn, and I'm friends with the designer, and I was like, hey, do you want me to test it? He's like, you going to finish it? I'm like, yes, eventually. He's like, date's flexible anyway. So I am testing for Corrado Lark, an upcoming sweater design for him. It should, based on when we are supposed to get it finished, I think it's going to be coming out first part of November. It's called Drought. It's a play off of his brother's name, Devon. But if you go to Corrado Lark or Red Stag Fibers Instagram, you can see a picture of it. It's really pretty. Color work, twisted rib, not brioche for anyone panicking when they look at it. As of right now, I know this may not be the case when this actually gets posted. He's still looking for testers, and there's still quite a few varieties of sizing available. You can always check. He may have been filled, but you can always see. So it's 3 colors, designed in Croft DK. I'm going to show you my colors, but it also uses Suri for one of the colors that you hold. The Suri is optional, but it just adds that really nice texture and softness. So yeah. Croft DK is the DK weight of Josh's BFL, 100% BFL. Excuse me, I have the hiccups again. Okay, so my colors are, this is going to be my main body. This is Edinburgh Castle. Then this is Gloss. Let's see if I can hold them all. And then my contrast color that is going to be with Suri is Antique Linen. So I'm going to hold these two together and treat them as one. And it's going to be so pretty.
It just feels like Ireland in a color palette.
It really, I mean, this screams Irish. So I know it's Edinburgh Castle, but I'm sure there's a castle in Ireland.
It feels very Ireland, Scotland.
Yes. I feel like they could go back and forth. It's Gaelic inspired. Maybe we could just call it that.
I think that's a good
Celtic inspired.
Celtic inspired. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, actually, now that I say Celtic inspired, it's very much so.
Yeah, that fits actually the best.
Yeah. So that is what I'm using. I will be casting on and neglecting all other work, I'm sure. For at least a little bit on vacation, but it's going to be super fun. It's not a secret test knit, obviously, as I just told you about it. So I'm going to be able to share some photos along the way here on YouTube and on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. It is a mix, I think I said this already, but it's a mix of color work, and some textural stitches like twisted rib. I think that twisted rib might be the only texture outside of course, the Suri and the color work. And then some nice plain stockinette along the body. I think there's some detailing around the sleeve, cuffs, and the bottom hem as well. And it's a really unique neckline too. I'm intrigued to see how how we knit it up.
The details on it are really, really cool looking. So.
Yeah, definitely unique. And that's what I've always liked. So Corrado is, I hate to use the word up and coming designer because I feel like he's been up and coming for a couple years now. But he's designed some really cool patterns. Definitely take a look. Most of them, you can find them through Ravelry, but then he has them through PayHip most of the time. Some shawl patterns. This is, I think, maybe his 3rd or 4th sweater now. Done, I think, a vest, done several cowls, done some really nice work, and everything always has something a little bit unique. Not hard, not a hard design or a hard technique or anything, just makes it different and unique and fun and fresh. So, and I really like patterns done by male designers because I feel like they think outside the box and don't do the same crescent shaped shawl or the same this or that that a lot of other designers sometimes end up doing a very similar. I mean, honestly, how many shapes of shawls can there be? You know, not a whole ton, but I feel like sometimes they take that out of the box kind of thought process. Obviously, Stephen West does, because, you know, you're going to end up with who knows what when you get done knitting one of his projects.
You know, in the best way.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Only in the best way. That being said, I really, really want to cast on another Vertices Unite in one color using the new Life in the Long Grass that we just got. I really do. I do not need to do that, but I really want to. I need to finish some of these projects, guys.
Yeah.
So hopefully our vacation is super low key. We're just basically hanging out at the beach in the pool. So lots of knitting time, potentially.
Yeah. You get some of that. That Marettimo is so close that...
The Marettimo, I think, is not going to be a problem because the Marettimo I'll take for pool knitting. I don't know that I'm going to take the Suri wrap down there.
Yeah.
Because who wants to knit with that at the pool in the hot and the heat and humidity?
No.
Not me. I'll save that for air conditioning at night. And then, of course, the test knit and everything else. So, we shall see. And then, of course, the week of yarn trail. Highly doubt any knitting will actually get done because by the time we get home, I will be exhausted. So, yes. But it's going to be so much fun, you guys. So, since this will go up basically the day that yarn trail's starting, if you're watching this, definitely check out the website because all of our trunk shows will be live and on the website. If you haven't already, check out all of the Life in the Long Grass that we just got in. It's stunning. It's the complete fall-winter color collection. Carolyn does just amazing things with the color. It's beautiful. Check that out. What else did we get in? Since I think the last podcast, we got in the Mad Tosh DK.
Yeah.
All the big Savvy Skeins order. Beautiful. If you're looking for Texas local type yarns, Savvy Skeins is another one of our great dyers. Mm-hmm. Also being featured in Nomadic Knits, which Josh was just featured in Nomadic Knits in their Texas issue. As of this moment in time, we have more issues of the book available, but by the time this gets uploaded, it may be sold out. But we're going to see about, if it does sell out, we're going to see about getting more copies in. And he has his pattern featured in there, which is the Lone Star Wrap. And Lone Star Wrap is an Aran weight shawl that's just stunning. We have kits in the original color, and then we have a wide variety of Aran weight colors. I did post on Instagram that you can see some of the kit ideas we put forth for that. If you're interested, you can obviously just let us know. And then actually Savvy Skeins, the design that features her yarn is Boots and Spurs colorway, and I believe we still have some of that as well. So if you're looking for that, we do have that.
Yeah, we have that on our the sensible sock
base, which I believe is what was used. Not 100%, but Suburban Stitcher was also featured, and of course we stocked some Suburban Stitcher. I don't think we have that colorway. It was an exclusive that she's keeping to herself right now, but it is similar to like the Swamp colorway. Yeah. And we have quite a bit of her fingering weight yarn and a little bit of DK left as well. We're going to have the trunk shows of Chelsea Luxe, Bashful Armadillo. We're going to have custom colors by Red Stag Fiber and Moondrake. So someone might have gotten an exclusive sneak preview of the Moondrake color just now.
Maybe.
So Becky is knitting up a fun little shawl and is using the new custom color from Moondrake, which is on her merino linen, I think, or just her.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It is on the merino linen. So it's 90% merino and 10% linen, which just gives it that beautiful heathered look. Yeah, pop it up.
Pop it up, show 'em,
Yeah,
show 'em.
show 'em.
Okay.
Look at that. It's so soft and beautiful. You've got like those seafoamy, tealy blues and little green, and then the orangey sunsets.
Yeah.
I think her inspiration was the city where she's at, Oklahoma City, in Sunrise or Sunset. One of those two. I can't remember exactly if it was Sunset or does it say on the label?
It's just
It's
Oklahoma City is the colorway. But
so
it definitely feels like a sunrise or a sunset color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So you pick whichever you prefer, sunrises or sunsets, and it's that. Look at it worked up, though. It's so pretty. It's just that soft kind of mottled. It's not overly speckled. It's not super variegated. It's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
So, and that's the...
Linen summer shawl or summer linen. I think it's linen summer shawl. I keep mixing up the arrangement of those words.
It's those three words all grouped together.
Yes. By Joji Locatelli.
Yes.
So.
And you're using all
Moondrake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
Seafoam. And then
Eldridge.
Eldritch. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Eldritch.
Yeah.
I wonder where that scrap yarn came from.
Right here. Because this is also merino linen from Moondrake, Eldritch color, and this is not merino linen, actually, just this. This is Mad Tosh in...
Is that the copper pink?
Filtered Daydreams.
Filtered Daydreams.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Filtered Daydreams. So, yeah. I'll show this off. See? Aww.
So good. It's a good top.
Yeah. I like these little tops. Pop them right over your little...
Jumpsuit?
Yes, jumpsuit. your little onesie outfit you get from Target, you know? Yeah, no, jumpsuit is the proper term. Which is basically an adult onesie.
Yeah.
That's
A socially acceptable adult onesie.
Yes. Very comfortable, by the way. Yeah. And, you know, if you've used this Eldritch color or Filtered Daydreams, this one from Target matches great.
It does. Yeah. It really does.
It's a great color, and it's nice, and it's like a cotton linen something or other. Check it out. I don't work for Target. I'm not sponsored by Target. Yeah. I just go to Target way too much because it's like 5 minutes from my house. It's true. Let's see. So, you've learned about what's going on during Yarn Trail. And, of course, obviously, if you can't make it to Yarn Trail or make it to our store during Yarn Trail, a lot of the trunk shows, well, all the trunk shows, and a lot of the new items that we are getting in for Yarn Trail, such as all new Cocoa Knits products and all the other things that have come in. Just literally, there's so many things, Life in the Long Grass, everything, is all shoppable on the website. Trunk shows are under the Trunk Show tab. Everything else you can search by brand, or like the item, accessory, needles, hooks, notions, etc. Candles, we have tons of new candles, and don't worry about ordering candles from us because we ship them in boxes, so they're not going to get all, so they come fully protected. Don't worry about that. Of course, we have lots of project bags and totes and knitters backpacks, plystro bags, all the things, all of our books, knitters, board games, or card games, line of books, which by the time this goes live, you will be able to pre-order Lina Edition 12 on our website. Ooh. So get that pre-order in ASAP. I believe they're supposed to, when is that one launching? Let's see if that's the pre-order date. I think end of September is when it gets shipped out, I believe. But look for an Instagram post on it, because I will make that announcement, of course. Pom Pom magazine pre-order / should be shipping about when this video goes live. Yeah, remember, basically Pom Pom magazine, Making magazine, Nomadic Knits, Laine, any of those coming out with books or magazines, you can always pre-order on our website, and secure your copy either for in-store pickup or to be shipped. I think that about covers it as far as announcements and everything. Like I said, by the time this goes up, you should be able to see our fully revamped website, and it should be much easier for you guys to browse all of the colorway options. It is also supposed to be quite a bit faster in its upload because of how we've rearranged things, so it's optimized and easier for you guys to actually use and click through the buttons and the checkout process and all that fun stuff. All the technical, boring side of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, thanks so much for tuning in, and I won't be like last time where I just would not shut up. I haven't had that much coffee yet. So, thanks again, and we will see you. It may be longer than 2 weeks. It may not seem like that way to you, but we are not going to have the brain cells to film during yarn trail. Not even going to attempt it, because it would just be what day is it? I don't know.
Which way is up? This is yarn.
Yarn. Have we made progress? No. Yeah, it may be a few days after yarn trail before we get our thoughts collected to form a coherent sentence. So, reminder, yarn trail hours, we have extended hours, and you don't have to be participating in the yarn trail to come and participate in any of the sit and stitch, the trunk shows, extended hours, etc. So, as always, we're open till 8 p.m. on Thursdays, so 10 to 8 on Thursdays, regardless of the yarn trail or not. That's what we're doing through at least the end of August. We'll come back to that later. Through the yarn trail, so Fridays, Mondays, which we're normally closed, we're going to be open on Mondays. So Monday through Friday, basically, we're going to be open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, the 2 Saturdays of the yarn trail, we're going to be open from 9 to 6. And Sundays, we're going to be open noon to 5. So we'll literally be open for, 12 days straight.
Yep.
And then day 13, we're going to sleep and do nothing.
Yep.
But yes, it's going to be super fun. We hope you come out and enjoy. As always, if you're out of state, we're always happy to do phone orders via text or FaceTime. Just be patient. It may take us a little bit longer to respond to you. We will have more help during the yarn trail, of course. But that being said, have a great rest of your day and enjoy all of your knitting and crocheting. And we will see you either on this channel soon or in the store or online or wherever we might find you. Bye, guys.